All right, Vladimir Putin has responded to that terror attack in Russia. First time we heard from him a couple of hours ago, saying that the perpetrators behind this will be punished. Apparently, at least 3 were captured. Some say as many as half a dozen. We don't know the exact number here because we got different reports out of Moscow on this. But the one thing that we're told, and Vladimir Putin kept emphasizing this, is that they were captured on their way to Ukraine, again, implying that Ukraine was behind this attack in the first place. Of course, the Ukrainians say that is not the case. In fact, 2 weeks ago, our embassy, the U.S. embassy in Moscow, had warned of an attack like this that was imminent on large population gathering points, including concert halls. With us now is Dan Hoffman, the former CIA station chief in Moscow. Dan's really brilliant on this stuff. Not only that because he knows the area, but he knows history. And Dan, you and I were chatting a little bit about this yesterday, but there is an historic pattern here. What's going on?
There is. So Russia has suffered lots of terrorist attacks since the beginning of Vladimir Putin's reign 2 decades ago. There was the Beslan school shooting and the Dubrovka theater attack in 2002. There was an attack on the Russian embassy in Kabul in September of 2022. And the CIA helped thwart a terrorist attack in St. Petersburg by giving Russia timely intelligence on a terrorist attack that was planned there. And so Vladimir Putin's regime is squarely in the crosshairs of terrorists, not just Chechens, but also from ISIS-K, which is active not only in Afghanistan, but in Central Asia. And they're out to settle a score with Vladimir Putin over Putin's treatment of Muslims, over the fact that Russia is an ally of Iran, and also engaged in military operations in Syria against ISIS terrorists.
Dan, what do you make of the timing of this? Just days after Putin wins another 6-year term, you can question the veracity and the accuracy of the vote, but it is what it is. It will make 30 years in power if he completes it. What do you make of the timing?
Yeah, I was asking myself the same question. It's really hard to know without some interrogation of the terrorists who were involved in this attack. But typically, terrorists will launch the attack when it's ready and give no thought to the overall strategic meaning, in this case, after an election which Putin rigged in his favor. So it's possible that they timed it for after the election. They might well have tried to time it before the election. They may also have had other targets in mind. I think that's an unknown right now for us, whether this network of terrorists, and Russia has a lot of work to do to uncover the logistical tale behind the attack that took place on Friday. There's the potential there were other targets, and that's something that the Russian Federal Security Service has to be concerned about.
Real quickly, do you think the Ukraine inferences are meant to be a distraction? What's worse, could he get worse and even, step up the offense because of this?
There's an irony there because it's Russia that has been targeting Ukrainian civilians in maternity wards and hospitals and in their neighborhoods and killing innocent civilians. Those are terrorist attacks from Ukraine's view. But look, this is typical Vladimir Putin disinformation, obfuscation. The attack was a mass casualty terrorist attack from ISIS. And I think even as he tries to blame Ukraine, he's only making his own position worse with his own public and his own security services.
Wild stuff, Dan. Thank you so much. You've been a huge help to all of Fox, sorting this out for us.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.